Martin is Richie Anderson. Corbett and Coles, the wide receivers. Anthony Beck, the tight end. They did not give Curtis Martin progress to the 42, so it's 2nd and 1. There's offensive coordinator Paul Hackett. They spread the defense again. The give is to Martin, and Martin straight ahead and doesn't appear to have made a first down with that try. The Pittsburgh defense, they're one of the few teams that play the 3-4. Aaron Smith, the rookie, Casey Hampton, and Kimo von Oelhoffen up front.
Greg, you can play the 34 when you have 4 linebackers like this. Kendrell Bell, the rookie, having a terrific year.
In the secondary, Chad Scott and Dwayne Washington, the corners. Brent Alexander and Lee Flowers are the safeties. Tim Lewis is the Pittsburgh defensive coordinator, and he looks on as the Jets are looking at 3rd and 1. Curtis Martin, first down yardage, across the 45 and out to about the 47-yard line. As we have said earlier, this is a homecoming for Curtis Martin. Out of Taylor Alderdice High School and the University of Pittsburgh. And he only had about 50 tickets to garner for this game. And you know what? He's getting away easy.
That's what I was going to say. He's getting away cheap. But Curtis Martin, a lot of carries this year. He is the most valuable player in the Jets team. And he said it last night, Greg, as the season goes along, I get stronger. And I said, well, how can you get stronger as the year goes along? He goes, I just get used to the pain.
First down for the Jets. Martin tries the right side. The cutback gets him about a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9. Kendrell Bell, the wondrous rookie out of the University of Georgia, made the stop.
It just gets hard to run the ball against the Steelers defense. The 3 defensive linemen are good athletes. They move around, and when they're moving around, what it does, it frees up 4 excellent athletes. That's what the Steelers have always looked for. Good, big, fast linebackers. You get 4 of them out there, they make a lot of plays.
Early on, you've seen a Jet priority. Get Curtis Martin the ball. 4 offensive plays, 3 runs, and a reception. Quick pass out here to Lavernius Coles. Midfield, trying to turn the corner, is wrestled out of bounds, and a marker. Several of them fly on number 20, Dwayne Washington.
That's going to be 15 yards. I could see the helmet almost turn around.
Terry McCauley is our referee today.
Personal foul. Grasp in the face mask. Defense, number 20. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Oh, it does. It goes all the way around.
You know, you heard the fans groan, but, you know, you have to wonder after they see that replay, they're not going to groan much. That moves the football all the way to the Steeler 29-yard line. This time, Martin and Anderson line up in the backfield behind Testaverde. The pitch for Martin. Will lose yardage on the play. Jason Gilden.
You cannot get discouraged if you have runs like that against this Steeler defense. Because of the speed and the way they move around, they're going to get you behind the line of scrimmage every once in a while.
A loss of 3 makes it 2nd and 13. And we welcome those of you who watched the New England Patriots defeat the Cleveland Browns. Just minutes underway here in Pittsburgh, and Vinny Testaverde with the handoff to Curtis Martin. And Martin, for the 2nd straight carry, loses yardage. Kendrell Bell and Kimo von Oelhoffen combined for a 1-yard loss.
Well, you can just see that play illustrates the confusion the Steelers defense can create for an offense. Kendrell Bell just so fast, takes on the lead blocker, gets rid of him, and then goes in and makes a tackle.
Curtis Martin, the NFL's leading rusher, coming in with 1,082 yards, has 5 carries for a total of 3 yards as the Jets look at 3rd and 14. Here comes the blitz. Going deep for Cole. Incomplete, out of bounds.
Well, the Jets offense, they made a nice adjustment. When you're playing a team like the Steelers that do a lot, that like the blitz, they give you a lot of different looks. It's got to help your confidence to come out adjust to those looks the first drive, move the football, and give your team at least a chance to kick a field goal.
John Hall will be attempting a 51-yarder, and this would tie his season long. On its way, and not good. Hall was able to get it away off the hold from Tom Tupa, but it sailed to the right of the uprights. So the Steelers take over. We check in with Jim Nance in New York. Jim.
All right, thank you, Greg. Many people watching this one earlier. San Diego, 37-yard attempt. You just had John Hall wide right. This is Steve Christie. Wide left. Eagles take over at the 2-minute mark, up 10. Back to you.
All right, Jim, thank you. Cordell Stewart drops back on first down and throws and has his man at midfield. That's Hines Ward. Hines Ward into Jet territory, and there's a look at Cordell Stewart. Those 5 interceptions, as you see, the second fewest in the NFL, and Cordell has been on a roll dating all the way back to last season.
Herman Edwards, I think, said it best. He goes, the coaches in Pittsburgh have done a good job of teaching Cordell Stewart how to manage his team in this offense, and they have been steady and good this whole year.
Jerome Bettis on the sideline, not playing due to hip and groin injuries, and Chris Fuamatu Ma'afala gets the handoff and goes straight ahead. Inside 45 to about the 44-yard line.
The Steelers, they run the football so well because they have active, athletic offensive linemen who can stay on their blocks and give the running back a chance.
Fuamatu Ma'afala in the backfield with Whitman, Plexico Burris, Hines Ward, the receivers, and Jeremy Tooman is the tight end. And on the sideline is Jerome Bettis. Comes into this game 10 yards behind Curtis Martin.
I was going to say, Greg, he even looks big in his sweats.
Dragged down behind the line of scrimmage by Steve Martin, number 91. Let's take a look at that Jet defense up front. Sean Ellis and John Abraham, terrific second-year defensive ends. Burton and Martin are the tackles.
The Jet linebackers, Mo Lewis, number 57, one of the best in the league at stopping the run.
Starting cornerback Aaron Glenn is missing today with a sprained knee. Ray Mickens replaces him with Marcus Coleman on the corners. Damian Robinson and Victor Green are the safeties. There's Ted Cottrell, defensive coordinator. Amos Zeraway is now on as Cordell Stewart operates out of the shotgun. Deep drop, Cordell throws over the middle inside the 35-yard line to Plexico Burris, and that's a Pittsburgh first down.
One of the keys for the Jets defense today, or the Pittsburgh offense as you watch this game, the Jets worried about Cordell running the running game on first and second down by the Steeler running backs. They're going to get a lot of single coverage on the outside. Plexico Burris, that time against Marcus Coleman, one-on-one. So far, the Steelers have won both of the one-on-one contests on the outside. If they want to have success, they've got to stop that.
84 in motion is Tooman. Stewart to throw. This side, complete to 86, Hines Ward, who is having just an outstanding season.
He is, Greg, and again, why do the Steelers get to throw the football out to these one-on-one contests all the time? Fuamatu Ma'afala is down. It's going to take a lot to get him out of the game today because he was extremely excited about getting a chance to make the start and get a lot of carries. We talked to him. He says, I want at least 26 carries.
This is a young man who has 6 brothers, the youngest, and he says each of them is up over the 300-pound mark. And Fuamatu Ma'afala, he weighs in at a svelte 255 by comparison.
Well, he has to take on John Abraham. He goes low, and Abraham just runs him over. Looks like he's going to be okay, though. But, Greg, to go back, the Steelers' offense, people don't know this and don't understand. Because they run the football so well, it makes a lot of single coverage on the outside, and the Steelers are very, very good at throwing it outside near the sidelines.
Amos Zeraway is in the backfield now, and he takes the pitch. Lost the football and fell on it back at the 33-yard line.
Well, I couldn't see what happened, but I bet we watched the replay. Watch Zeraway's eyes. Yes, never looks the football in. It's almost always the case on pass catches or flips from the quarterback.
So he falls on the ball at the 32-yard line. Loss of 7 on the play, and the Steelers are now looking at a 3rd and 9. Shotgun. Stewart over the middle. That's complete inside the 20 to Hines Ward, and a first down for the Steelers. We have heard over and over how things have been simplified for Cordell Stewart, making his decision-making process easier.
Well, that's what it is, Greg. It's really been simplified in the Pittsburgh offense for the wide receivers, and you're seeing more production from those wide receivers because they're just going down and running routes, and Cordell's just making the throw. They're not thinking. There's just no reacting. Just do it, and that's why they've been so efficient so far this year.
You see Stewart a perfect 4 for 4. Fuamatu Ma'afala is back into the lineup, and he takes the handoff. Going to try the near side, turn the corner, 15 and out of bounds, close to the 10-yard line. You know, everyone, as soon as he touches the ball, everyone yells, boo. I see no reason why we shouldn't do the same thing, Phil.
No, I want you to pronounce his name all day long. It's Fuamatu Ma'afala. It's one of the few names in the league that I can pronounce very well. But Greg, you know, in the Steelers, a very quiet confidence about him taking over for Jerome Bettis today. Bill Cowher expressed it to us. The defensive players, and we talked to him on Friday from the Steelers, they couldn't wait to see what the Jets, what they think about Fuamatu Ma'afala.
Well, Pooh's going to get the handoff here and try the left side. It's inside the 10 to about the 9 or 8.5 yard line as we come up on 5 minutes to play here in the first quarter.
Well, you're getting a look at, for people who haven't seen the Steelers much this year, why they're 4th overall in the NFL in total offense is because, hey, the Jets stop the run, but you've seen already that Cordell Stewart can find the open guy, they can get open, and they can make the plays in the passing game.
So now the Steelers looking at a 3rd and 3.
You always have to be alert for the quarterback running down here, and they are.
Quarterback draw straight up the middle, and he's not going to get the first down. Sean Ellis and Rick Lyle combined to stop Stewart.
Well, hey, we talked to Herman Edwards last night. They have some direct keys. Look, 2 guys on the inside. They're inside strictly to watch for the quarterback draw in a situation like this. Good defensive call by the Jets. Predicting, and Herman Edwards even said, when they get near down the goal line, try to score, you got to look out for Cordell Stewart running the football.
Onto the field goal unit, led by Chris Brown, the 3rd-year kicker from Nebraska. He will kick this one from 26 yards away out of Josh Miller's hold. And it is up and on its way, and good. The Jets missed the field goal at one end. The Steelers march downfield and convert at the other. And with 3:45 to play in the first quarter, the Steelers with a 3-0 lead. And let's go back to New York and Jim Nance.
All right, thanks, Greg. Kansas City jumped all over Oakland here at the start. They drive it with their first possession behind Priest Holmes. 42 yards on 4 carries, 10-yard touchdown run here. Raiders fumble the kick. It's recovered by the Chiefs. Leads to a field goal. 10-0 Kansas City first quarter. Let's go back out to Pittsburgh.
Well, you know, John Gruden was already in a bad mood over last week's loss, and losing to a rival in the AFC Western Division like Kansas City is not going to improve his mood.
You know what? Now the Raiders have to go back to establishing themselves again, because everybody goes in there now and goes, hey, we can beat them. Their defense is struggling. You can score points, and they've been giving up some points in the last few weeks.
You saw Cordell Stewart with his receivers on the sideline. Steelers go 51 yards in 11 plays and finish up. There you see Cordell back on the sideline talking with Plexico Burress. And, you know, we have to say it. When we talked with Cordell on Friday, it was a very relaxed, very self-confident Cordell Stewart.
Yes, and we've talked to him quite a few times over the last couple of years, Greg. And
it wasn't always the case.
We haven't found him that way.
This will be Craig Yeast from the 7. 20. And hit and dropped at the 22-yard line by Mike Logan. 15-yard return that looked like it was going to be a lot more. Great open field tackle and special teams play by Mike Logan. So back onto the field comes Vinny Testaverde. And we welcome those of you who have watched the Eagles defeat San Diego 24-14. Greg Gumbel, Phil Simms, Armin Katayan at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. A 26-yard field goal by Chris Brown has the Steelers on top 3-0, and the Jets with their second possession of the day. Testaverde to throw on the screen. Curtis Martin ducks inside of his block across the 30, out to the 32-yard line, and he may have enough for a first down.
Well, Greg, last night, and what did we hear from the Jets, from Herman Edwards, from Kevin Mawai, the whole team? What's the goal of the Jets?
Get Curtis Martin 30 touches a game.
30 touches. If you get, that's the magic number, they think. If he can get a hold of the football 30 times, the Jets are 15-0 when that's happened. But what that would signify, if they do get it to him 30 times, that they'd be controlling the line of scrimmage. And, of course, that would give them a much better chance of winning the game when you control the line of scrimmage.
Martin has already had 7 touches today with 2 pass receptions and 5 rushing attempts. Testaverde throws and overthrows on a miscommunication between he and Lavernius Coles.
Well, the miscommunication is from Vinny Testaverde. I just think the football gets away from him. Lavernius Coles going to sit up. Chad Scott to the outside, break it underneath him, and Testaverde trying to anticipate. The football gets away from him and goes high.
2:40 to play in the first quarter. The pitch for Martin, looking for room to cut back, breaks it outside, out across the 35, and out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Pickup of 6 on the play by the former Pittsburgh native, high school star here in Pittsburgh, college star at the University of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I like it. Paul Hackett, who was the University of Pittsburgh coach at the time here, and he recruited Curtis Martin, and Curtis Martin said, I always knew I was going to go there, but I made Coach Hackett sweat it out. He came to my house. I didn't commit, but he had me all the time. He just didn't know it.
3rd and 4, 5 wide receivers. Here comes the blitz. Testaverde escapes the blitz, looks, throws, far side, complete and out of bounds, incomplete. Kevin Swain was not able to make the reception inbounds, and they'll kick.
Well, the Jets are trying to spread the Steelers out to give more space to receivers down the field, but the Steelers are going to heck with that. They're bringing the extra blitzer. That time it was Mike Logan. Testaverde. Good job of getting away from the blitzer. But Swain does not hold on to the football.
Denny was hoping and hold on to that one. Troy Edwards is deep for the kick from Tom Tupa. Edwards at the 18. Slipped 1 tackle, but not the 2nd and 3rd, and he is down at about the 20.5-yard line. Under 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. 3-0 Pittsburgh. Back to Pittsburgh, everyone. Greg Gumbel along with Phil Simms. You know, we're talking with Herman Edwards, and he says, well, it's going to tell us really what our team is about. He kind of says that every week, but he's really going to get a pretty good idea of what his football team's about after this game.
Well, that's the way this league is, Greg. It's just a new test and find out about your team every single week. And he said, we have dealt well with adversity so far this year.
Cordell Stewart going to go deep. Incomplete, intended for Plexico Burress, who had 2 men beaten deep.
Nice job by Plexico Burress adjusting to the football. As he's going down the field, he's looking inside. He turns all the way around to look to the outside and gets the football in his hands. But Victor Green, watch 21. No, he doesn't knock it out. Burris just misses it, but tough catch. Running full speed, turning from the inside, then look over the other shoulder.
2nd and 10. Quick drop this time, and the pass this way complete to Troy Edwards. Edwards hit hard at the 27 and goes forward. So about the 29-yard line, and let's check in with Armin Katayan. Armin.
Thanks, Greg. You know, the saga of Cordell Stewart is pretty well known around the league, and how through tough times he's really flourished now thanks to some tough love by Bill Cowher, who told us on Friday before the season he went to Cordell and said, you know what, it's time for you to become a leader on this football team. And to do that, you have to become accountable and accept blame. He said if you do that, the players will stand with you. In short, he told him to grow up, and he's grown into one of the most dynamic players in the game, Greg. Back.
All right, Armin, thank you. Stewart gives to Ma'afala out to the 35-yard line. You know, just to add to what Armin was saying, one of the things that Cordell Stewart likes is the fact that Mike Mularkey is in charge of the offense now, and Cordell told us he was hoping that Mike would be the guy ever since Chan Gailey left.
Yeah, no, that's what he was hoping for, and it's not just an accident they're having success again on offense. This is the offense the Steelers used many years ago with Ron Earhart and Chan Gailey. It suits Cordell Stewart very well, and they've designed this offense around him now, what he does well.
Stewart throws far side of the field, and that's complete and out of bounds to Hines Ward.
Now, I told you earlier, the Steelers throw it to the outside of the field as well as anybody in the league. And again, if you single cover the outside receiver, watch Hines Ward just comes up, makes the cut, and it's a perfect throw.
4 catches today, 73 on the season. That's the 5th most in team history for the Pittsburgh Steelers in a single season.
Most teams in this league are afraid to throw the football outside like that because they don't trust their quarterback or the receivers. The Steelers do it, as I said, very well.
So the Steelers are going to let the clock wind down on the first quarter, and we'll take a break, and exchange ends. We've played 15 minutes here in Pittsburgh at Hines. Holiday spirit burgeoning everywhere here in Pittsburgh. Cordell Stewart trotting back onto the field, and I guess neither of these offensive coordinators can get a more balanced attack than this early on. Stewart 6 out of 7 for 70 yards, comes into this game completing 61% of his throws.
I would think pretty soon we're going to see a run by Cordell Stewart. The Steelers have about 6 designed running plays where he's going to take it and follow the blockers and see if he can pick up yards.
Stewart throws, has his man inside the 45 is Hines Ward. Ward to the 35, to the 30, and inside the 25-yard line for a first down, Pittsburgh.
Well, as long as the Jets keep thinking that the Steelers are going to run the football, this is what's going to happen outside. And there are gaps in the defense. It's just tough for the corners to cover this. Look at Ray Mickens way off of Hines Ward. The linebackers don't get there in time, and Hines Ward, a do-everything kind of receiver or quarterback, running back at the University of Georgia, is catching on how to play this wide receiver position.
5 catches for 77 yards already today for Hines Ward. Give this to Kuomatu Ma'afala, and he's thrown back as he reaches the 21-yard line.
That's nice. Now, don't you teeny, man. I want to hear that name all day long. Of course, this has been a big conversation piece, everybody out there, between Greg Gumbel and I. He goes, you know, after I say it a couple of times, don't you think I can give him a nickname? No. I talked to Chris Kuomatu Ma'afala, and he says, don't even think about it.
I didn't think I had that kind of urgency in my voice when we talked about it.
Oh, listen, you were crying about it. It was great.
Well, maybe like FM or
when you're a player, you're worried about getting hit. When you're an announcer, you're worried about pronouncing players' names right.
2 tight ends. Play fake. Stewart throws. That's complete. Inside the 15-yard line is Matt Cushing, the second tight end, number 48.
Well, you've seen so far in this game, in a little over in a quarter, that the Steelers, they can do it all on offense. Play action passes, misdirection. Mike Mularkey, they can drop back and throw it down the field. They have talented wide receivers who have really come on this year. They were young last year, made mistakes. Those days are over. They've matured. and they are productive, good players.
From the 13 on first down. Stewart throws, end zone, incomplete, intended for Jeremy Tooman, the tight end. It'll be second down. You know, second down. You talk about the maturation of these receivers, and you mentioned Hines Ward, a quarterback at the University of Georgia. This is his 4th season, as we mentioned. 5 catches, over 70 yards today, and he came in already with career highs in receiving and reception yards.
Well, Bill Cowher said when they drafted him, they knew it was kind of a risk. Because when you take a player who in college doesn't play what you're going to put him on in the pros, you hope they can just learn to do it. And since we took him in the draft, because I just believed in him as a football player, that he figured out and get it done.
Stewart throws. That's complete inside the 10-yard line to Hines Ward again. And in fact, even when we talked to Cordell about him, he said, don't you remember what he was called when we first got him? Mini slash.
Mini slash, okay. That's right, I do remember that. That's one of the reasons why they drafted him too, Greg. They figured it was working with Cordell Stewart. We'll get a guy that's kind of like him, and we'll figure out a way to get him in the game and try to make him a productive player for us.
As far as his receivers go, Cordell Stewart says Hines Ward is his most reliable. Plexico Burris, his most improving. Whitman and Zeraway in the backfield now with Stewart. They'll throw it again. Brings it down and runs inside the 10, inside the 5, and down at about the 2-yard line. It'll be enough for a 1st and goal.
I said to Herman Edwards last night, when's the last time you played against Cordell Stewart? And my thought was, when this guy pulls the football down, he's not a normal quarterback. Even looks like he's going to get tackled. He's big, he's strong, and he can break arm tackles just like a running back can. You know, when you get next to Cordell Stewart, you hang around him a little, you go, man, you're a big dude. And he's got those big legs, and he's explosive.
1st and goal. Fuamatu Ma'afala, and he's not going to make it to the end zone. Did he grab the football before the whistle blew?
No, they blew it dead. Otherwise, this would have been a touchdown. Because he reached out and has the football over the goal line.
The runner's forward progress was stopped before losing the football. 2nd down.
Number 51, James Darling, thought he had himself a gift.
No, watch what happens, Greg. He takes it up inside. He stopped. It's over. And now they take it out, so...
Forward, blown dead before he reached.
Yes, and it's right. They came in and blew it dead because his forward progress was stopped.
2nd and goal. Fuamatu Ma'afala for the touchdown.
The Steelers, they're one of the few teams, they don't have to get cute when they get down inside the 5-yard line. They can just line up and run the football at you for 2 reasons. A good offensive line and big, powerful running backs.
12-play drive for the touchdown. And the kick is not good. Fuamatu Ma'afala with the first touchdown of the day. The Steeler lead is 9-0. On the kickoff, Craig Yeast from the 6. 25. And not much further as the Steelers converge. Chris Fuamatu Ma'afala has the Steelers out front now 9-0.
He's sponsored by DirecTV, the #1 digital satellite entertainment provider, and by Burger King, home of the Whopper.
Welcome back to Heinz Field. 10 minutes, 12 seconds to play here in the first half. The Steelers have jumped off to a 9-0 lead and have shown themselves very impressively offensively with an 11-play drive and a 12-play drive.
Sorry, Greg, but they're putting pressure on this Jets offense. I think the Steeler offense did, because the Jets defense, I didn't see anything that makes me think they're going to slow them down.
Curtis Martin trying to turn the corner and has run out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. Let's go back to the touchdown.
Yeah, let's look at it. Left guard Alan Faneca. This just illustrates the Steelers' offensive line and how aggressive and how athletic they can be. Double team, gets away from Rick Lyle, just knocks Marvin Jones out of the picture, clears the hole for Fuamatu Maafala. But the Steelers, when I've watched them on film and watched their games, their offensive line can stay with defensive personnel longer than any offensive line I've seen this year.
Jets spread the field on 2nd and 8. Throws, that's complete. Out to the 40-yard line is Kevin Swain, the first-year man out of Wayne State. And that'll be a first down for the Jets.
I like what the Jets are doing, spreading it out. Even though the Steelers they have great statistics on their defense and what they've done this year, the last couple weeks, Tennessee and Minnesota have thrown for well over 300 yards. So Paul Hackett, he watched those films. He saw some plays he liked.
I'm sorry, Phil, I want to point out Santana Moss is not playing today due to a quad injury. And to give us to the first back, Richie Anderson, and Anderson stumbles forward to about the 42 or the 43-yard line.
Right back here. You know, we had a chance too, Greg. You know, you watch this Jet offense, and Jason Gilden, the linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers, talking about the Jets running game. He goes, you don't see many like this in the league. They just do everything. They have a variety of inside reverses, counter plays, trap plays, sweeps, and of course the biggest thing, the draw plays that Curtis Martin runs.
Martin is the lone back behind Testaverde on 2nd and 7. Faked the screen and now throws it out that way, and it is just crushed. Lavernius Coles is driven back by Dwayne Washington.
Well, what Vinny Testaverde was trying to do, watch, he's going to fake, and then he wants to look down the field for a big pass. There is nobody open down the field. In fact, I only saw one receiver go down the field. He was double covered.
Vinny threw it out there to Lavernius Coles on his 3rd look out to the side.
Well, that was one of those they saw on the film. They say, hey, if we fake it and do this, it's going to be really good. But that usually doesn't happen. Teams cover their mistakes from one week to the next.
3rd and 10. Testaverde throws this side, and oh, what a grab at the 45-yard line by Lavernius Coles for a first down.
You said it. What a grab. You're Vinny Testaverde. You throw it anytime you see Lavernius Coles, even if the coverage is tight, because that doesn't even illustrate it well. He just went up and took the football that way, not only to catch it, but to make sure it was not going to be intercepted.
First down Jets at the 45-yard line of the Steelers.
Herman Edwards says Lavernius Coles, I've said this before, he plays angry, and you saw it on that last play.
Curtis Martin shakes the tackler inside the 40 to about the 39-yard line. And we asked Curtis Martin, how many times has he been able to come back here and play in Pittsburgh? He said not since his rookie year. He said he thought at one time it would be really cool to have played his high school ball, his college ball, and then to play professional ball here.
Yeah, but I think he likes the way things have worked out in his pro career so far.
It's been okay.
Just okay, but that was a nice illustration again. A player came in motion. He pulls along with the guard. Curtis Martin counterplay. Good yardage on first down.
Martin on 2nd and 3 has a first down inside the 35 to the 34, where Kendrell Bell made the tackle. And we talked about Curtis Martin coming from this area. He was a lot smaller, but maybe not even as fast back in those days, huh? Taylor Alderdice High School. He was a standout, and then moved on to the University of Pittsburgh, where he began to fill out and pick up a little speed on the way. 8th play of this Jet drive from the 34. Pump fake by Vinny, throws for Coles, and it's out of bounds.
Testaverde's pass intended for 87.
I'll tell you what the Jets have done so far against the Steelers defense, because they're spreading them out, 5 wide receivers, the guys in motion, different runs. They have settled the Steelers defense down. They are not blitzing. So when Testaverde goes back to throw the football, he is having time, and it's just a question, can the receiver get open?
That's Tim Lewis, defensive coordinator for the Steelers. Paul Hackett of the Jets calling the offensive plays. 2nd and 10. Wayne Corbett to the bottom of your screen. The pitch is for Martin. 30. Gets the first down inside the 25-yard line. Run out of bounds by Brent Alexander.
Another good job by the Jets. Richie Anderson splits out as a wide receiver. You're going to see him come in, gets the block, seals it off. Curtis Martin follows the blockers outside. Jerry Jenkins gets a good block. And then, of course, Curtis Martin, when he sees a little bit of a window, fast enough to get through and get good yardage.
So the Jets now to the Pittsburgh 23 and a first down. Deepest penetration of the day for the Jet offense. Lamont Jordan in at running back for New York. Testaverde pulls it down and goes down. Penalty marker is down in the secondary.
Well, we saw something there, Greg.
It's against the Steelers.
Illegal contact. Defense, number 50, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
That infraction against Earl Holmes.
Well, the Steelers finally come with one of their different blitzes, but the Jets, one thing, and we heard this from Herman Edwards.
Extra point is good. And so just when they needed it the most, the Jets stem that Pittsburgh momentum with a touchdown drive. It's 9-7 Steelers. Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry have the scores, the highlights, the latest NFL news, all coming up on the Nextel halftime report. Troy Edwards, Lindsey Jackson are deep as you look at the strong right arm of Curtis Martin. Low kick, bouncing, picked up at the 10 by Jackson. 25, 30, and forward to about the 33-yard line where the pile occurs. Curtis Martin, touchdown pass, celebration, 9-7 Pittsburgh. Log on to NFL.com and see why Phil Simms thinks more teams should use the 3-4 defense just like the Steelers. Just go to NFL.com or America Online, keyword NFL.com.
You know, there's such an abundance of good linebackers now in the National Football League and in college, too. I don't know. I think they're easier to find than these big defensive linemen who can do it all.
On first down. First down, Fuamatu Ma'afala across the 35 to the 37. Let's go back to September 24th of last season in Tampa. From 18 yards out, Dan Henning was the offensive coordinator for the Jets. And Curtis Martin, complete to Wayne Corbett, that proved to be the game winner. Here with Paul Hackett from 18 yards out. Touchdown.
2 touchdowns, 2 accurate throws, and 2 ducks. You were saying, hey, I think he threw a better spiral this time. No, he didn't. But the main thing was it was right on target because Wayne Corbett was not wide open.
On 2nd and 6. On the draw. Fuamatu Ma'afala forward to about the 39-yard line. Steve Martin with the stop. And it'll be 3rd and 4. And we were talking, Phil, about how the Steelers had the field goal and then the touchdown, and they really had momentum going their way, and then up comes this drive by the Jets.
Boy, the Jets did a good job, and really they did that job, Greg, by just, I think, not confusing, but switching up a lot on offense. Formations, some different plays, and, of course, when the halfback throws a touchdown, that's opening up the bucket pretty good.
3rd and 4. Amos Zeraway is on in the backfield as Cordell Stewart goes to the shotgun. Throws this side. Oh, what a diving catch at the 43-yard line for a first down by Hines Ward.
If Cordell Stewart says, I want to put this football exactly in a spot, that's where he gets it. Ray Mickens all over Hines Ward, and watch John Abraham, 94, one of the best in the league at getting to the quarterback. The Jets changed defenses that time. 3 defensive linemen. Mo Lewis was standing up going to take care of Cordell Stewart in case he ran with the football.
Hines Ward, 7 catches already today. Zeraway now out as a wide receiver to the bottom of your screen. Stewart, ball tipped and falls incomplete. Shane Burton appears to have been the guy who got a hand on it, and if he did, that's just not unusual. Shane Burton does that a lot.
Not a shock. Shane Burton is not going to get back and sack the quarterback, but he's going to knock him down. And Greg, we've talked to him before about this. He goes, I give the pass rush about 1 step, and then I just start raising my hands.
Well, Aaron Glenn came into this game leading the Jets in number of passes defense this year with 12. For Shane Burton, that's number 11.
Best pass defender on the team, maybe.
2nd and 10. Stewart rolls right. Still looking and throws incomplete. Overthrew his intended receiver, Plexico Burris. So it'll be 3rd and 10.
You know what? You go back to Shane Burton knocking that ball down. It is the most frustrating thing and the worst for a quarterback, because Cordell Stewart had Hines Ward wide open in the middle of the field, and the pass, you know it's open, you let it go, it feels good, knocked down. And most of the time, when an interior defensive lineman does that, it goes up in the air and it turns into an interception.
3rd and 10. Cordell a perfect 3 out of 3 on 3rd down. Has time, throws, back complete inside the 40 to the 35 to the 33. Bobby Shaw, number 82, on the receiving end. It'll be a 1st down.
The Steelers, they are deep at wide receiver. Bobby Shaw, he's the 4th wide receiver. But what happens is he gets messed up inside. Look at this route. Nice fake to the inside and going against the Jets' best 3rd down cover guy, Ray Mickens.
We have come to the 2-minute to play. 2-minute warning at Heinz Field. We'll be right back. There they are, the usual suspects. Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry have the scores, highlights, and the latest NFL news coming up on the Nextel halftime report.
Why do you call them suspects? What's that mean?
You got a better name?
They're fine gentlemen.
There you go. Good numbers first half for Cordell Stewart. 1st down from the 32. 2 minutes to play. Both teams with all their timeouts, and here's a quarterback draw. Cordell searching for room to run and gets just inside the 25-yard line.
Well, Bill Cowher, he said, we like to have a quarterback run in there pretty early in the game, because he says, you know, once we run it and Cordell gets hit, he seems to get into the flow of the offense much quicker and better.
Going without a huddle now on 2nd and 3. Amos Zeraway, right side. May have gotten a yard. It'll be 3rd and short. That was Pittsburgh's 31st offensive play of this first half. They've only had the ball 3 times.
This is the 3rd time, a field goal, a touchdown.
And we get a timeout to stop the clock with 1:17 to play. Model trains on display at Phipps Conservatory here in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh offense looking at a 3rd and 2. Great numbers on 3rd down for the Steelers their last 3 games. Quick drop, throw, complete, inside the 20. 1st down, out of bounds at about the 16 to Plexico Burris.
Well, there you go again. I think so far today, every time the Steelers have thrown against a defense like that, where it's just one-on-one, the Steeler receivers, they're winning the battle, and Cordell Stewart is just making perfect throws. Outside shoulder, turns up the sideline, gets an extra yard, goes out of bounds.
1st down from the 16-yard line. Zeraway tries to duck outside and may have gotten about a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9. Marvin Jones and James Ferrier with the stop. Right to the line of scrimmage. Clock is running, coming up on 50 seconds to play in the first half. Deep drop this time. Stewart throws over the middle. It's incomplete and almost intercepted by James Ferrier.
Well, what happens that time? Good play by James Ferrier, but Hines Ward has the decision on this play. He can come across the field. Watch Cordell Stewart. The Jets drop back. He waits too long before he sets up, and he slips. That's the other reason why Ferrier almost makes the interception. See, Hines Ward, he saw fair and he decided too late, oh, I better hurry and stop, because that's what he's supposed to do. But by stopping so fast, it makes his feet come out from under him.
Another long drive by the Steelers. The 12th play of this drive, 3rd and 9. Stewart with the screen, incomplete to Zeraway. And that'll bring the field goal unit on.
Well, I know they're disappointed they didn't complete the screen, but the Jets in good position. Even if Zeraway catches it, a couple defenders are going to be right there to make the tackle.
Brown converted a 26-yarder earlier. This one will be from 33 yards away. And it is perfect. Chris Brown puts 3 more on the board. The
It's time to be the best in the AFC West against the Chargers. The NFL is on Saturday on CBS.
Steelers have gone 11 plays for a field goal, then 12 plays for a touchdown, and now this last drive, 13 plays, resulting in another Chris Brown field goal. East and Jordan are deep for the Jets, and short kick, and the Steelers have the ball. At least the Steelers say they do.
That was not a designed play. Chris Brown just trying to squib it down the field.
And they do have it.
And he kicks it, trying to keep it on the ground, and it hits the leg of number 51, James Darling.
So, Bill Cowher wants more points on the board in these last 32.
NFL on CBS. He's sponsored by Snickers. Don't let hunger happen to you. And by Message from America. Visit Circuit City today to record your message.
Some of the special sandwiches they make at Tremonti Brothers here in Pittsburgh. Let's go back to that kickoff.
James Darling in the middle. It's supposed to be a squib kick. The Steelers actually get lucky that they recover the ball once it hits James Darling.
John Fiala recovers. Chris Brown says that's ours. That is officially ruled a fumble
Now,
by Darling.
I know the Steelers didn't mean to do that, because the chances of recovering something like that are slim, and you wouldn't want to give the Jets the football on their own 45 with just so little time to go in the first half.
Pittsburgh has 2 timeouts remaining. Stewart out of the shotgun. Steps up and gets crushed at about the 45 by Sean Ellis. Ellis with his 5th sack of the season, a loss of 3, and Stewart stops the clock with 26 seconds to play here in the first half. Cordell's numbers on today, 12 of 18 for 149, and from the outset, we've been talking about how he has been throwing the ball with authority. Hines Ward on the receiving end there, and Cordell Stewart is just throwing the ball on a rope today. One timeout remaining for the Steelers. 26 seconds to play, 2nd and 13. Stewart pulls it down and now throws over the middle, complete inside the 40 to Bobby Shaw. And the Steelers call timeout to stop the clock with 17 seconds to play after the 18-yard pickup. Instructions to Cordell Stewart. What's he telling him to do with no timeouts left?
Well, the same thing that all coaches do. Now, look, Cordell, go out there, don't take a sack, don't fumble if they hit you, and really don't throw an interception.
Other than that, go play your game.
Yeah, but be loose. You know, we love you, man. But no, they just informing Cordell Stewart, no timeouts left, that you must throw it near the sidelines, and they got to get out of bounds.
Going to give it to Zeraway, and Zeraway inside the 30, inside the 25, and down to the 22-yard line. Now they want to kill the clock to get the field goal unit on.
They forgot to tell Zeraway, don't go for too big of a gain.
He stops the clock, 1 second remaining, and onto the field comes the field goal unit. Pretty good execution by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It really was a good job of getting up, getting on the football, and spiking it, and let's go. Let's see what you think. Is it home field? No. Formation's correct.
Brown will attempt a 40-yard
40-yard field goal attempt by Brown to end this first half. It's on its way. And is it good? No, he missed it. Pulled it to the side. What kind of a lift will that give the Jets in the second half? Brown gets it away very well, but it pulls it just to the left, just like his missed extra point. Let's go down Army containment.
Coach, in what has been a momentum game, how do you slow down Stewart in these Steeler drives?
Well, I think what we have to do is get off the field on third down. Our third down right now is not very good. I mean, they're completing a lot of big passes on third down, and that they continue drives. I think offensively we've got some plays that we think can, especially in the passing game, that can help us. But if we don't get off on the field, our offense can't get on the field.
All right, Coach. Thank you. Greg.
All right, Armin. Basic stuff from Herman Edwards. Our halftime score, Pittsburgh 12 and the Jets 7. Coming up, we'll be sending